Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now I feel like I'm going back to my roots here. I've not done a Hanna Karlzon page in a little while, and now this is Seasons, again by Hanna Karlzon. I started this last night all with Inktense pencils, and this morning you might have seen in my last video that I did like a Happy Meal video because the lovely Gina had sent me the Inktense blocks, the whole set. I was blown away. So I want to use them for some, if not all actually, all the rest of the image. I don't know what it's going to be like for backgrounds. I don't know, because I haven't used them for backgrounds yet. In colouring books I don't think, but I thought that I'd give them a bash in this because I've already used Inktense on it. Now my idea with these is I'm going to break a little bit of piece off and put it into a separate pan to make like a watercolour palette sort of thing with all the different colours. But for now, because it's the same day that I'm filming that I got these, I've just popped them into these palettes just for safekeeping until I have time to sort all them little pans out. I'm going to have to get little magnets and stuff as well just to make it look all nice. So yeah, my idea is turquoise and the oranges and yellows I think will look really pretty together, really pretty actually. I think it'll be nice contrasting colours. So if I have the page over here, make it a little bit more comfortable for my wrists. I'm starting to get better at that. Instead of keeping the page completely straight, I'm thinking about myself. And I'm using two different brushes, the Derwent Aqua brushes in size 1 and size 2. I've got my water, I've got my little pipette, and I'm just using these two colours. I just want to see what it's going to be like. I have already pre-wet these, but I got preoccupied doing something else, so now I'm going to have to pre-wet them again and just leave them for a couple of seconds. And I'm just curious because last night when I was colouring this, I coloured straight onto the paper with the pencils, and I went ahead and coloured, like I said, this area for instance. I coloured 3/4 of it in the yellow, and then I added, it wasn't orange even though it looks like it on camera. It was poppy red I think, or chili red, but because it's mixed with the yellow a little bit, it's turned it a little bit orange, which I don't mind, but it was an easy process to get the shadows where I wanted them. Now I'm thinking, because of these other blocks, I mean you could directly pick these up and colour straight on, but you wouldn't get, I mean look, this one's broken here. You'd have to use the very corner of them, and I don't think you'd be able to get all that precise in some of these little details. So I think this is the best bet for me to use. The only thing I did forget is my cloth, which is here. And yeah, we'll just start and see what happens. I'm excited to colour in this book because, like I said, I've not used Hanna Karlzon book in a little while. I still do need to colour in a brand new one, and I will get around to it. I just like her old style better. Don't hate me, I just love it. I love her old style better. So I'm going straight in onto the actual block itself. Now there is, I won't say there's loads of water, but there's enough there. I mean I'm just thinking of the palette. I've got this little plastic palette. I'm going to see if picking the colour up and picking it up off there would be a better idea than actually going straight in, and I suppose I could water it down as much as I want doing it this way. I mean, I think these blocks will last me a lifetime. I don't think I'll ever have to buy them open stock or anything, but I do want to be mindful, especially with them being a gift. I want them to last. So I think I'll go ahead with the lighter colour first, let it dry, and then go ahead and add the depth with the darker colour, whereas yesterday I was doing it all at once. So I'm interested to see what this is going to be like. I don't want loads and loads of pigment on. But yeah, even though they act similar to watercolour, they're really not, and they do have their own pros and cons, I'd say. They both, watercolour and Inktense, have pros and cons of using them. So it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for me, this, which I don't mind. I like, you know, doing new things. So I just want to get a nice base of that down. Should I go up? Yeah, I'm going to go over them areas as well. So I don't want too many colours in this page. I just want it to be really just two contrasting colours. So the rest of this is probably going to be this turquoise colour. That's the way that my brain works. That's the way I like to do it. So the other side. And then I thought about the top part here, the embellishments, and at the bottom. I would leave them empty for now and either go with a Winsor & Newton ink, or there's something else that I want to try. I ordered from Cult Pens and I got this free because I'd spent, I think it was over £20 on Derwent stuff. I was just buying backup pencils and I got this. And it is the metallic paint pan set, and it's just a tester basically, and look at that, it's beautiful. I was really pleasantly surprised, so I might try and use this on that. I did try and actually take this out of here to put it in with the rest of my pans and it nearly broke apart, so don't do that. Don't do that. But depending how they react and behave on this paper, I might want to get that metallic set. I didn't know that they were that glittery. It probably doesn't show up on camera, but they really are. So I think I want to do all of its body in this turquoise colour. The only thing I will say with Inktense is you have to work a little bit quick. Oops, I got a little bit on the eye though, so we'll have to match that. Yeah, you have to work a little bit quick because they dry really quickly, especially with such light layers as I'm doing here, so they can go a little bit patchy if you're not quick enough. So let me see where else. Ideally I wanted that to be gold as well to match the other embellishments, so if I go, I don't know if this is meant to be part of the body, but now it is. He's going to be a bigger moth. He's going to be a bit plumper. I'm not too worried about going over that because I can go over that with the gold, like I said. And I think doing it this way, picking it up off the palette, you're controlling the amount of colour and pigment that you're putting down, whereas if I probably took it straight from the block, it would have been really intense, which I don't want at this stage. But does anybody else like the feeling of an Inktense page when you've finished it? The crinkle that it makes, if you know, you know. So let's finish getting all this base on. I need to do all this as well. I might cheat with this bottom area and do the whole thing in turquoise. So that little swatch of paint has lasted me a long while, but can you see here where it's going patchy a little bit, so I do definitely need to go over with another layer or another colour. Hello. You'll miss them patterns soon, because when she's upstairs with me I'm going to get a bed for the art room for Rollo to sit down in. It's carpeted, so you won't hear them little pitter patters anymore. I thought about switching over to my bigger brush then, but we've still got all these little details at the bottom that I want to be careful of. You're not going back, are you? You've literally just been out 10 minutes ago, so no you're not. If this dog could live outside, she would do. I want a little bit more water on that. Can you see where it's getting a bit patchy? That should be good for now. While that is drying, I'm going to try this gold at the top, because that's out of the way, you know, so I'm not going to be dipping my my arm in the rest of it. But what does it actually say on this? It says metallic paint pan set. So I'm curious what the other colours are like now. I'm going to have a look. Striking on both light and dark surfaces, light or opaque washes possible, includes a strong array of shimmering metallic colours extending beyond just traditional golds and silvers. A striking shimmer can be seen when the surfaces are, does that say titled? There. I don't know what that means. Yeah, it's just showing that it's a sample, but it came on a piece of wood. Thought, how weird's that? What a waste of a piece of wood. And you could have just stuck it to paper, that's what I thought. So I'll leave that to activate for a minute and then come back when it's ready. I've just been checking to see if I had any smaller paintbrushes than that size 1 of the dough, and the smallest thing I've got is this, and I don't really like the shape of this for doing that. It might be okay, I mean, let me just test. Yeah, it might be okay. This is a Billy Shorwell one in a size 2, I think. Was it 1? Oh, that's just the name of it there. I got this in a set off Amazon. So I'll wet the brush first and then just have a look at this. Just make sure the brush is loaded up properly. I'm curious about this. I hope that the lighting's okay. The sun just keeps going behind the clouds and hiding. So I'll put my light back on. Hopefully that should be okay. I'm gonna go quiet because I do want to I want to stay in the lines as best as I can. I'm gonna wet it a little bit more. Can you see? That is really, really pretty, that. I don't actually know of any other companies that do a lot of samples, because I got the Lightfast pencil as well as a sample from Derwent, and that's what made me take the plunge to get the full set. I know you can buy open stock, but that pencil sample, that cost me 50p. So far that is really, really nice. So I'm wondering whether it's got the same properties as the Inktense line, you know, once you re-wet it. I will test on the tester page that came with it. More water. It does dry really, really quick though, I will say that. I probably won't do, I might do a bit of the turquoise shading, but I'm not going to be able to manage to do the rest of this page on camera, unfortunately. I wish I could film everything that I do with that. I wish I could film, but unfortunately there's not enough time in the day to do that, to film and then to wait for it to do the editing process and then to upload. Unfortunately I can't do that, but I could always come back and do little bits on camera for you. Yeah, this is really nice, this, and they give you a good size sample there of it as well. My neighbours next door. So yeah, look at that. That is really, really beautiful. Really beautiful. Pleasantly surprised. Just be careful with this corner. Right, so I'll do the rest of that gold off camera because it is taking me quite some time because I'm being careful. But we'll get back to the turquoise. I'll finish that off in a little bit. Just wanted this to be a little bit of a shorter video, just showing you my first impressions of me using the new goodies. So we need to re-wet that darker turquoise. I'm going to pop a little bit onto my palette again. Like that should be enough, and add a little bit of water. A couple of drops should do. That's probably too much, but it'll get used. It'll get used. Now let's start off. Is it going to show up this, or is it not dark enough? So you need to add more. Right, there we go. There we go. So I'll add the dark colour. I'll leave it for a second to sit in on the page. Sit in. Sit on the paper. Just like that. Wipe my brush off. Clean water. And just see what this is like, because I don't like having really harsh lines. You know, see how it blends. So far, so good. It's a lot darker on that side than it is on this side though, I will say that. Blend that out a little bit more. Where else can we darken up? All around his head, I think. Just leave that for a second, and all under here as well I'll do. My voice is going. I filmed quite a few videos today, so my voice is going a bit. My husband will be happy when he's home because I won't be able to talk much. So I'll start to blend this out now. Let's make sure my brush is relatively clean. And just pushing at that colour. It's a good job I put that light on because it looks like it's going to piddle down. A little bit more water there. I don't want to blend this too much. That should be enough. But I'm getting the idea of how to use them. I just need to practice with them. So I'm hoping to get this page not necessarily finished tonight because I've got other things that I need to get done. But I am really impressed as well with that gold at the top. Obviously I love the Inktense spots. They're amazing. They really do pack a punch, don't they? You don't need a lot of colour. I think they'll last me a very, very, very long time. But yeah, I'm curious about them golds, so I'm going to have a little nosy at them. But yeah, it was just a little short video, just to keep you company if you sat there colouring, or even if you're just sitting there having a break. But until my next video, take care of yourself. Bye.